Jimmy Butler, hands down, is the most underrated player in the entire NBA and the most underrated player in the playoffs right now. And look, Jimmy Butler, well, after last year and what happened to the Miami Heat, there's going to be many people that were going to basically have speculations about them because, well, that was a terrible playoff run that they had last season against the Milwaukee Bucks, getting swept. And I believe Jimmy Butler averaged really only about 12 14 points a game in that series. He played absolutely terrible, but this season he came in with a lot to prove. And when you really look at him, Jimmy Butler throughout his NBA career has really proved a lot of people wrong. I mean, you heard him when the game was over, when they beat the 76ers, about him not getting picked over Tobias Harris, and they extended Tobias Harris. And well, Jimmy played basically like the best player in this entire series on really both ends of the basketball court. He showed his impact for the Miami Heat. Jimmy averaged 27.5 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, and he averaged 5.5 assists in those 6 games against the 76ers. But I'm not really done yet because, well, the advanced stats also tell you a lot more about Jimmy Butler, and basically in the first 2 rounds he's been playing like the best player in the NBA statistically. Butler leads the NBA win shares per 48 minutes, ranks higher than Chris Paul and Al Horford, who are both second and third. He also ranks first in box plus minus, which is higher than Giannis and Nikola Jokic, who are in the top 2 as well in that category. And Butler leads the NBA in value over replacement players. Giannis ranks second and Morant ranks third. So Jimmy Butler has already put himself in some very elite company in the playoffs right now. And well, there's going to be a much different test now going against the Celtics because, well, these two teams are similar in many ways. Both, have stars on their teams, but I believe that Jimmy Butler he should be in that category of superstar level players because, well, really when you look at it on the Miami Heat, any given night, somebody can really go off on their team. It could be Tyler Hero, it could be Bam Adebayo. Shoot, Victor Oladipo is coming back. You never know when he can have his a night. There's many options that the Miami Heat can go through, so they don't really truly have a true level player. But I believe that Jimmy Butler really is that guy. He's come up for the Miami Heat in the clutch, and really, when you look at it, Jimmy Butler has been clutch really for his entire NBA career. When those big moments matter, he always delivers for his teams. And well, for Butler, going up against this series against the Boston Celtics is definitely going to be pretty tough. And I believe that the Miami Heat, in a way, can possibly become out victorious. I just think that the Heat, when you look at their depth and you look at what they can really throw at any team in any given night, it's going to be really hard for really any NBA team to beat the Miami Heat because this team, they can throw so many pieces at you. Not only that, but they have versatility. They have defense. They have shooting. They have really everything that an NBA team wants and needs to win. And when Kyle Lowry, he gets back and everything, it's just going to make them, I believe, even better. Obviously, he's not the same Kyle Lowry that he used to be, but he is still capable of putting up some pretty good numbers at times. These teams are really solid, elite, in a different class when it comes to their defense. I mean, we saw the Miami Heat did to the 76ers in that entire series. Harden in Game 6 could barely even attempt a shot in the second half at all. All of his points came in the first half, holding him to only 11 points. Let's be real though, he hasn't really been that good to begin with, to be honest with you. But still, they locked him up really good. He got so many opportunities, and a lot of that had to come through Jimmy Butler because, well, Jimmy Butler, regardless of what I said about the Miami Heat can have a guy go off on any given night, he is still considered the best player on this team. And the offense, really everything kind of runs through Jimmy Butler. Everything that they do is dictated by him. And we see that every single night they play. But his greatest attribute simply is as well is his leadership and just his hunger for the game. NBA fans, especially the old heads, they really love guys that really just go out and grind each and every single night. And well, that's what Jimmy Butler does. I mean, we saw him do it in the finals against the Lakers that season when they lost. He put up a historic effort though to help this Miami Heat team, and he got 2 big wins on them, which was really good. But regardless of that point on, Jimmy Butler this year, he's just motivated even more, especially after the last year's failure. And really, when you look at it, the Miami Heat, the way that they've been playing and how far they've been coming, we can basically say for the last 3-4 years that this team has really honestly been the best team in the entire Eastern Conference. In a way, obviously with the Milwaukee Bucks, they won the NBA championship last year, so that title still is to them. In a way, I still believe that Miami Heat, them even making it now to another Eastern Conference Finals in the past 3 years basically, is already showing you how good this team can be. And I believe that they can beat the Boston Celtics. I think that Jimmy Butler can lead this Miami Heat team past the Boston Celtics. And I believe that this series is definitely going to go 6-7 games. No doubt about it. But I believe that the Miami Heat just have too much firepower for the Boston Celtics to stop. I think that they have too much depth. I think that they're going to be the toughest team to beat. Even if they played against the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals, it's going to be very tough for the Golden State Warriors to even pick up on these guys as well with how loaded and depth they are. But hey, let's give credit to the Warriors. They have just as much depth when you think about it too. But even for the Miami Heat, they are still not even the favorites to win this series against the Boston Celtics. And really for the Heat, I definitely think that they're going to play big in this series too as well, because, well, when you look at the Celtics, they don't have that type of size that the Miami Heat does. In the Heat, they can go small ball. They can run many different lineups at you as well. But I believe that if they play Dwayne Dedmon as well, because we know that Al Horford is definitely going to be on Bam Adebayo, and Al Horford's been playing still like a really, really solid player in this playoffs. I believe that Dwayne Dedmon is definitely going to be more present in this series against the Celtics. But there's going to be many different adjustments that come from game to game in this series. That's just one little thing. I believe that's definitely going to take place. And I still think that Jimmy Butler can lead this Heat team against the Celtics. I believe that for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, their last really guy that they got to really go up against if they want to make it to where they want to be is going through Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. And that's going to be very tough because the Heat, man, they just have, I just think that the Heat have too much talent. I think Jimmy Butler's leadership and whatever thing he brings to the table, he's a superstar level player with a bright group of players on his team. I mean, you got PJ Tucker, you got Victor Oladipo, Bam Adebayo, who's another solid defender as well. You got Martin, another really great perimeter defender. You have Jimmy Butler himself. You have Tyler Hero, who won Sixth Man of the Year. You still have Duncan Robinson as well. And you have many great players on this Heat team. So many good players who are really playing well. And not to mention as well, I know I'm probably rambling right now in this video, but let's not forget how historically good their defense was in Game 6 against the 76ers. That was some of the best defense that you've probably seen in a very long time from any NBA team. For Jimmy Butler, I just believe that this could be his year to finally win an NBA championship. I think he can go down really and solidify his name in NBA history winning this NBA championship for this Miami Heat team if they go to the finals against whoever they play. But for Jimmy Butler, he's underrated in many categories, and I believe as well as IQ as well, he's very underrated, and him being fundamentally sound. There's many parts of his games that people don't really appreciate that he's extremely good at, and well, this guy delivers in the moments that your team needs him to do so in the most. And well, this is really just start of a really good long series between the Miami Heat and Boston Celtics. And I do believe that even though the Celtics have been playing really good and they have some really bright spots on their team, I just think that the Miami Heat is just going to be too much for them. And I believe that the Heat will come out victorious. But I hope you guys enjoyed this brief video today. Nothing crazy, just going over the Heat and my prediction with them. But hope you guys don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Have a good day. Peace.